we got going on. We got to get down to the nitty gritty. And you can go over this. I'm going to be taking it from famguardian.org, and it's legal or lawful. Which one? Okay. Now, the color of law is something that we need to go over because a lot of us don't really know what the color of law is. And so we got to know. I mean, if you're going to be in this game, we got to know some things, and this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm only giving you what I've been through and what I've actually learned through the process of going through. So this is like let me make sure I get myself in the make sure I get in the middle. To see, like, I'll keep going over there. There we go. Okay, so we need to know these things as far as the color over. This is crazy. Oh, here we go. We back up. Okay. It said I was unstable. The internet is unstable. But I hope you all was still there. But we need to talk about this. If you could share this, this is going to be great. And I'm going to get to it. So what it's talking about is the law versus the color of law. Now we've been under the color of law, and I'm going to explain that to you. And this is all according to the libertybeacon.com. And you can go pull this up. It's giving you the information. I'm not an attorney or a lawyer. I just been through some things and learned this on my own. So this is for entertainment purposes for you so that you can research, go within yourself and know this stuff yourself, because this is something we need to know. Okay. The color. Now, you know what color is. You know what that is, right? So we've been through that color. Okay, so the color of law. Color means an appearance. Okay, it's an appearance as distinguished from that which is real, a prima facie or apparent right. Hence, a deceptive appearance, a plausible assumed exterior, concealing a lack of reality, a disguise or pretext. See, also colorable in Black's Law Dictionary. And I have my old Black Dictionary. It's the Black Law Dictionary. This is old, ancient. So I got that. So basically, I just told you it's fake. Let me read that again. Color means an appearance, and it says semblance or simulacrum, as distinguished from that which is real, a prima facie or apparent right. Hence, a deceptive appearance, reality, a disguise or pretext. Colorable means that which is appearance only and not, in reality, what it purports to be. Hence, counterfeiting, having the appearance of truth. Wendell versus Fenn, 196 OR 654, 251, page 2D 136, 146. Color of law means, read it again, that's what it's telling me. Okay, the appearance or semblance without the substance of legal right. Misuse of power, possessed by virtue of state law and made possible only because wrongdoers is clothed with authority of state in action, taken under color of law. Now that's what I've been through. Color of law. And a lot of things are going on right now where you're going to see this. They're going to be, it's treason. Going to be some stuff happening, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe. You better believe it. So I hope you got your popcorn and you got your seatbelt on because we getting ready to go for a ride. Because a lot of this has been going on for years and it's been taken away from the people. And the lawful has not been what it's supposed to be. It's been legal and legalese. I'm going to go through legal versus lawful, not tonight, but I'm going to go through that because we need to know the difference. And if we don't, we'll be caught up, and we don't need to be caught up any more than what we've had. We've been caught up in a lot of stuff that we, the people, didn't even know what was going on. We were just following orders because of what they said to be. And the thing that they'll say, well, the ignorance of the law is not my problem. And so that's why I'm going through this. Now, if something is color of law, then it is not law. It only looks like law. If you go to the website for the Office of Law Revision Council, you will see that most of the titles of the United States codes are prima facie evidence of the law of the United States. Prima facie. Let me see what that prima. I guess I'm saying it right, but let me look into this old dictionary so you can see the truth according to the Black's Law Dictionary. Now, this is what they use, so you'll know. You need to get one. I have the 4th version. Now, this is Prima. I hope I'm saying it right. But and they don't like for you to know this type of stuff so they can keep it going. But right now, we're going through something and it's not going to continue to keep going because a lot of people have waken up to the fraud and to all of the things that's going on in the Constitution for the United States. Not is what we're talking about now, the color. That's the color because it looks like it act like it's but it's not it. It appears to be. Okay, I hope you understand that. Now let me look this up. Now y'all know I'm kind of slow. It says PRIMA because this is what it says. And as we go through this, some people may find this boring, but you better strap it down because we're gonna need this. We're gonna need this. We are going to need this. We're gonna need to know the truth because the truth shall make you free. Now it's taking me this book so old, so I'm trying to take my time because okay, PRIMA. Okay, PRE. Okay, I'm coming up with it. Close. Okay, here it is. At first sight, on the first appearance, on the face of it, so far as can be judged from the first disclosure, presumably a fact, presumed to be true, unless disproved by some evidence at the contrary. So presume. Okay, presumed to be true. A lot of us go to court and we think, "Oh man, we don't." No, you're innocent until proven. So it's presumed. Okay, so that's what the at first sight of the appearance on the face of it is so far as can be judged for the first disclosure, presumably a fact presumed to be true, unless disproves some evidence to the contrary. Now, I guess I'm saying it right. It's prima facie and the color of law both go hand in hand because if a law is prima facie evidence of the law of the United States, that means it is color of law. Fake, not real by definition. In other words, the bureaucrats presume that the law applies to you until you defeat their presumption. That is just so tricky. And we've been going through this. If you read these prima facie color of law statutes, you will find them using words like person. And as I told you before, person means corporation. I will use the color of law title 26 USC as a typical way that they do it. So if they ever use that, you can say, well, according to such and such and such, like Title 26 USC, you would use that. 26 USC 7701, a person. The term person shall be construed to mean and include an individual, a trust, estate, partnership, association, company, or corporation. So when you go up in the court and they say, "Are you Ronald Hatcher?" And I say, "This me." then I am saying that I am that corporation. They can proceed. I always say that's the X rail. That's not me. That's a corporation. I am, then I give my name, my appellation. I am. So being that I am and I went a different route, I am Ra Bay. So that's the being. That's who I am. That's it's more of that inside of me. But if I go and then also I've changed my name to all lowercase. I've changed the name that they said that my mom gave to me, which my mom was a, what do you call it? When I have to tell you later, but they use the moms all the time. So that's what happened in that case. So the government name, Ronald Anthony Hatcher, which is the all caps, I changed it to lowercase. And I had to fight because they didn't want me to do that because they know that I call the bluff. And then I got an appellation too. So I'm an American. So that takes you out of the United States jurisdiction when you are an American, which you are. But if you don't know this stuff and you don't know that you're an American, then you shall be under the United States, okay? The corporation, a U.S. citizen. And plenty of people say, oh, yeah, I'm a U.S., yeah, smiling and smiling, and just don't know that you just put yourself in a jurisdiction that's not even real because you made yourself a corporation, person. Okay, okay. This is consistent with what the codes are saying a person is a variety of entities other than human beings, Church of Scientology versus United States Department of Justice. Foreigners, not citizens, United States versus Otherson. The word person and whoever include corporation, companies, association, firms, partnerships, societies, and joint stock companies, Title 1 USC, Chapter 1, Rules of Construction, Section 1. A sovereign is not a person. In a legal sense, and as far as statute is concerned, statute in common, and what a statute is when they write all these different statutes, and you can, I mean, when you're under the United States jurisdiction, if you do this, it's wrong. If you do that, you have to know every statute, and it's so many that you'll never know all these things because they got one to protect the other. They got this to protect that. If you say this, it's just all fake. I've been through it, so and I'm still learning. I don't know everything, and so I'm just telling you what I've been through. And so, as of this is consistent with the 14th Amendment because the 14th Amendment talks about a person being a United States citizen, and both of them are corporations. Remember, I told you there's four and of. This is of. That's under the United States of with the Constitution of the United States. So that 14th Amendment, other terminologies which means the same thing are pretend legislation, and then it would also follow that of offenses under the pretense legislation would also be pretend offenses. These terminologies are found in the Declaration of Independence 1776. For any statute to be legitimate, there are certain requirements. For example, it has to have a preamble. It has to be approved by both the House of Representatives and the Senate and signed by the president. And there are other requirements as well. The lack of any of these would make it a color of law, a lie, basically. Remember, color of law means it does not have authority. But if you go in and you don't challenge that jurisdiction, then you're into what you into it. So, therefore, you have to agree with it. It is a contract. I'm taking this wherever everything is contract. Everything. You have to change your mindset and look at everything is a contract, even your verbal contract. I am who I say I am. I'm that person. No, I'm a living man. Living man. I am not that person on that piece of paper that you got. I am an American. Well, are you Ronald Hatcher? That's what they did to me. I said, I am Ron of the Hatcher family, but my appellation is Rabe. You mean to tell me? Yes, they were yelling at me like that. Just sit down and go to the back. I said, okay, thank you. You never argue. You just be humble, nice, meek, and kind. Even though they treat you like crap, you still respect because that's the power of God that's within you. You never argue back with and never say judge. Just say, well, mister, this is such and such and such because everything you do, it puts you in their jurisdiction. Now, I'm just telling you what I know from what I went through. They asked me, was I, they go through this and they do it the same stuff all the time. It's a ritual. Are you a United States citizen? I said, no. And everybody was looking. So what are you? I'm an American. I'm a Moorish American. I'm an American. So I had to go through that because that's privacy. That's for me. That's not for everybody to know. It's not in the public. You know, that's my own personal inside this church is the being that's connected to more of what God has for me. And you have to think like that because they will get you all tied up and tangled up, and you'll be sitting up in prison over a lie, which is the color of law. And so that is why it is prima facie. I got to make sure I say that right, which means it all is at first look. In other words, at first look, the court presume that the statute affects you. But if you can show that you didn't agree to it in some way, then you're free to go. I don't agree. I do not consent to this. I do not consent. Do you understand what I'm saying? No, I do not understand. And the reason why you don't understand, because if you say you do understand, then you stand up under their jurisdiction. And if you walk past that little door, then you're in their territory. Mister, I can stay right here because you can say and do whatever you decide to do according to you, because nobody has power over you but you. But when you step across that line, that door, that door, and then if they try to make you go, I'm going under duress, I am not a part of this jurisdiction, then you just walk on up there. You just be very nice and kind because you're the power of God. It's the power of God that's within you. But if you go all up in there yelling and screaming and stuff like that, then you already submitted to their jurisdiction because you don't know who you are. And you can't be arguing and stuff like that with, Mr. So and so or whoever that is sitting up there. You can't. You have to respect them, and that's it. And then they will respect you. But when you go in there yelling and screaming and fussing and fighting and kicking and all of that, then you fall under what they thought you were in the first place. They presumed you were. You just, and that's how it is. And I've been through that. And it's not scary. It's just, you just got to know, you just got to be quiet and let the power of God speak through you. Because the United States Congress perjurers did their Foreign Sovereignty Immunity Act. And also because state citizens and foreign to the United States, state citizens are foreign to the United States. Most people think that they have to go through a lot to prove that they did not agree to one of these so-called contracts. But the opposite is true. Color of law and prima facie and presumptions are all associated with admiralty maritime law courts. Still don't believe that the courts view these colorable codes, rules, and regulations as a contract. The right of the individual are restricted only to extent that they have been voluntarily surrendered by the citizen to that agency. So you voluntarily you do things when you do this. Now here it is right here. Title 18. This is what you have to stand by. Title 18 USC, because I've sent a lot of these out. Whoever is the deprivation of rights under color of law. Now, I've sent this out many times, and they can't even talk to me because they can't talk, but I can. Whoever under color of law, of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom, willfully subject any person to any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States shall be fined under this title of imprisonment not more than 1 year or both, and if bodily injury result from the act committed in violation of this section, or if such acts include the use, attempted use, or threaten, that means under duress, use of a dangerous weapon, that means the gun, explosive, or fire shall be fined under this title, or imprisoned not more than 10 years, or both, and if death results from the act committed in violation of this section, or if such acts include kidnapping, that means taking you to jail, or an attempt to kidnap, aggravated sexual abuse, or any attempt to commit aggravated sexual abuse, or an attempt to kill, that means shooting you all the time like they do, shall be fined under this title, or imprisoned for any term or year, or for life, or both, or may be sentenced to death. Now, this doesn't happen because a lot of people that go through this, you have the power to go and fill out your own stuff and come after them under this title 18. But a lot of people don't. I did it. I didn't know what I would do it, but I did it. And the judge approved it. But when all this COVID stuff came, I just said, you know what? Let them have it this time. I just wanted to see the process. And I was about to take them and sue them because I have the amount you can sue them for when they do this, when they give you tickets and stuff, and you're not causing any trouble. What happened with me, I just was sitting at the light, and the officer said that the stop sign, I ran the stop sign when I didn't. But I didn't argue with him. I just said, okay, without prejudice, all rights reserved. I signed the ticket, went to court, and told them that well, I didn't have to go, but I went because I wanted to see what happens. So I didn't have to go because I could have made the judge the person that's over it. And so it's basically dealing with a trust. But I didn't. I just wanted to go just to see because it was just that. But I know I didn't do it, and I didn't consent to any of this stuff that they were doing. So I used this, and I didn't go through with it but the judge did. I was going to have a court date and all of that, and I could have sued them like $10,000 and all of that. But see, I got to the point because see, I'm learning this, and I knew I could have did it, and I had people, coaching me. But because of the COVID and all of that stuff, and then they closed everything down and blah 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 blah, I just said forget it. But you do have the right, not a privilege, to go to the not the little courts, the little lower court stuff. You have to go to the federal court, and you can file something against them to the lower courts when they do something to you that even if you did run a stop sign by accident, I'm not saying doing it maliciously. You still can go through the process because you didn't commit a crime. So you just got to do these things. And this is something which is under the color of law. The law further prohibits a person acting under color of law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom to willfully subject or cause to be subjected any person to different punishment, pains, or penalties than those prescribed for punishment of citizens on the account of such person being an alien or by reason his or her color or race. Act under color of any law includes act not only done by federal, state, or local officials within the bounds of limits of their lawful authority, but also act done without the beyonds the bounds of their lawful authority, provided that in order for unlawful acts of any official to be done under color of any law, the unlawful acts must be done while such officials is purporting or pretending to act in the performance of his or her official duties. The definition includes, in addition to law enforcement officials, individuals such as mayors, councils, persons, judges, nursing homes, security guards, etc. Persons who are bound by law, statute, ordinance of customs. So if they're acting in that way, as far as under that local, all of that, you have the right to file just like they filed under color of law. And you can send it to them and let them know that the popo will be knocking at your door because you have that right. But see, a lot of people don't know that, so that's why all this chaos is going on. If anybody that has been through something or going through something with the law, and you know you didn't do anything, and they're acting on the color of law, just take the court to the you could take them to the federal court because they're federal, state, whatever. Take them, you write it up yourself, go in there, fill it out, send it to the judge. And then if you don't have the funds, you can do a papyrus. A lot of people don't know that. They just ask how much you make. If you just don't have the funds to do it, send that in. See, they don't want you to know all these things. And you can have the court case and all of that done for free. I did it. I fought until the end, until the feds took over, and you can't even know if I can trust them. So when all this is over, if nothing happens, then I file color of law again. So that's all you have to do. You just got to stand up for yourself. Title 42 USC section 1414141 makes it unlawful for state or local law enforcement agencies to allow officers to engage in a pattern of practice of conduct that deprives persons of rights protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. The law is commonly referred to as the Police Misconduct Statute. This law gives DOJ the authority to seek civil remedies in cases where it is determined that law enforcement agencies have policies or practices which foster a pattern of misconduct by employees. Now, see, people don't know this, so that's why they're out here beating people up. If they beat somebody up, you go and fill this out. The action is directed against any agency, not against individual officers. The type of issues which may initiate a pattern in practice investigation includes lack of supervision, monitoring, or officer action, officers not providing justification or reporting incidents involving the use of force, lack of the improper training of officers, a department having citizen complaints process which treats complainants as adversaries. Whenever the Attorney General has reasonable cause to believe that a violation has occurred, the Attorney General, for or in the name of the United States, may in a civil action obtain appropriate, equitable, and declaratory relief to eliminate the pattern of practice. Type of misconduct covered include, among other things, excessive force, discriminatory harassment, false arrests. See, if you've been Man, see, we just got to read this. I'm telling you, you need to go to the libertybeacon.com, and or you can just go to the law itself, color of law. Look it up. Because I've seen some people I know, and I saw them saying this and saying that, but I don't think they even know. And these people are, known, but it doesn't matter who you are. If you don't know this, and then if you get an attorney, oh my goodness, the attorney just gonna turn you right back over to the color of law, and that's why they say, um when you have an attorney, you can't speak, because a corporation can't speak. They can't. So what I did, I went through it at first because I didn't know, and then I went back in and I changed it, and I was speaking. I didn't have an attorney because all the attorneys turned against me in my son's death. It's like I was the victim. I mean, I was the person that did it, because that's what they do. They turn it back around. Attorney. Lawful is different. So I went according to the law, and I did it myself. I studied, and if you want something done, you got to work to get it done. And so I mean, it's a lot of things you got to do, and I'm not going to go through all of this, but this you need to look at the color of law, because if all this stuff is going on right now, you need to know the color of law, because if you don't know the color of law, it's really it's not going to help you. And I don't know if you can see me now because it looks like the camera went off, but of course that's how they do it anyway. But I hope you can hear me because that's what they do when you're talking things like this. So I think you can hear me because I can't see that the camera is on, even though I've turned it on. But I see that some people are still here. So that's about it. So I'll probably go back over this again. I'll go back over this again because I mean, from every time I talk about something like this, they shut it down. So we'll just do it again. This is Ron Anthony. Thank you. And I'll do this again to make it work. And we'll do it again and again and again until it gets through. All right. Thank you. Until next time.